Hello and welcome. Welcome to another Lunch with Lisa. I'm Lisa Warner. I'm the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing. It's a book I wrote after I healed myself from cancer naturally, organically, without doctors or pills, just allowing my body to heal itself as is the divine design. So today I thought I would ask the question, are we being sold disease? And more importantly, are we buying it? So, what do I mean by this? Well, we are grand creator beings. This is who and what we are. We are souls that have incarnated into physical body in karna meat, in flesh. We are souls in the flesh. As souls, we are creator beings. We are created in the likeness and image of the creator. We are creators. However, here on planet Earth, we have been living in this false matrix 3D programming for a very long time, which has caused amnesia. We don't remember who we are. When I was 2 years old, I could see the amnesia. It was clear to me. And it is still clear to me. And we all have been subjected to this amnesia programming. Trauma after trauma makes us forget that we are grand beings of light, that we are creators. And as creators, we create what we focus on. Here in the physical realm, in the amnesia, we forget that we are creating our realities. So we are creating by default. When I found myself facing cancer, it was very clear to me that I had, quote unquote, created it. I hadn't created it on purpose, obviously, but I had allowed that manifestation into my reality. Therefore, I was responsible for that creation, that manifestation. So, how did I get there? How did that manifestation occur? Well, it occurred on multiple levels. We are multidimensional beings. So, we are creating from multiple aspects, multiple dimensions at once. What does it mean to be multidimensional? Well, I mean, on the very obvious scale, it means both physical and non-physical. Our bodies are physical, our thoughts are not, our dreams are not, our ideas are non-physical, our emotions are non-physical, except for the fact that we feel them in our bodies, which actually makes them physical. So the body is the connection point between the physical and non-physical. So what we believe, we experience. So I had been taught to believe in disease. I had been taught to believe in cancer. I had been taught to believe that our bodies malfunction because that's the programming here in the US. We have commercial after commercial after commercial selling doctors and pills and treatments and medical insurance, right? So what we focus on is what gets generated. So how many times a day do you see stories in the news about the next outbreak of disease, terror, fear, run and hide, protect yourselves? How many commercials do we see about, is this pill right for you? Side effects may include death. Don't worry about that though. Are we being sold disease? And when we start to understand how creation works, the answer is yes. Our attention point is being focused on disease, on pills, on the medical system, on the insurance. We're being led to believe that illness and disease are inevitable. They're just part of life. It's just part of what happens when we start growing old, or when, you know, armies of microorganisms start riling up against humanity. Dun, 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 dun. We're coming to infect you. Okay. And after we've been sold on this, when our attention point is fully focused on, oh my gosh, then we buy what they're selling. Whether it's, you better go get that mammogram or that colonoscopy, make sure that you detect it before it detects you. Make sure you kill that thing before that thing kills you. These are false matrix programmed beliefs. They're not real, but they become the manifestations. We create what we believe. We create what we focus on. And because we are being sold and told these things day in and day out as if they are an inevitable part of reality, they become part of our realities because we believe it's inevitable. We see disease everywhere we look because we have been taught to see through that lens. When I was looking through that lens of cancer, life was really grim. It was not fun at all in any way, shape, or form. It was quite terrifying, to be quite honest. But I knew deep down inside that we are creator beings. I knew deep down inside that I had allowed that creation into my reality. I had allowed that to manifest. And as soon as that manifests, as soon as I believed that cancer is what was happening to my body, that became my reality instantly. The instant that I believed that quote unquote diagnosis, it became my reality instantly. Before I had the awareness of the diagnosis, I was simply in, this, my body, there's something wrong. It doesn't feel good. I don't know what's going on. But I wasn't in the experience of cancer until I was in the experience of cancer, until it became manifest as, uh-oh, this is what's going on. I was perfectly fine up until that moment of like, all right, I know there's something going on here. But then as soon as that word became a reality, it became my reality. But I didn't want to go down that path. I didn't want that reality. I didn't want the C word to be part of my reality in any way, shape, or form. I wanted that entire creation to be dissolved from my reality. So instead of going down the medical route, which was simply ingraining that whole reality as made that reality even bigger in my reality, I chose to do something different. I chose to set about to find out how I had manifest this creation. How did I create this? How did I allow this to happen? And how can I uncreate it? Well, as soon as I got very clear, anytime we ask to be shown something, the universe shows it. This is how the universe works. The universe is our greatest teacher. When we allow it to be, our bodies can be our greatest teachers when we allow them to be. So I went inside. I started asking my body. I started asking the creator. I started asking my higher self. I started asking universal intelligence to speak to me, show me what it is I need to know so that I can uncreate this situation. And I was shown what I needed to know. And it was, hey, Lisa, your body's not being attacked by any disease. Your body is doing exactly what it is designed to do, given the input that you are providing. And the input I was providing was shame, blame, fear, doubt, guilt. I'm not enough. Why doesn't anybody like me? Why can't I make money? What? All of these thought patterns that I had been sold, that I had been taught by the false matrix. This isn't what we would normally think as the grand beings of light that we are. When we know who we are, when we know that we are souls, infinite and perfect, eternal beings of light and love, when we know that, we can be that in physical form, in these bodies. But when we don't know that, when we are under the cloak of amnesia and we're running around banging our heads up against the wall going, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why don't I feel right? What's happening? I must be in the wrong place. I must be in the wrong body. I shouldn't be here on earth. I don't like being in a body. I don't like being here on earth. As long as we're running around doing that, we're not being the grand beings of light we came here to be, embodied. So when we allow ourselves to be sold, diseased, told that there's something wrong with us, that these bodies are just meat suits and that they malfunction and there's something wrong with them and they need to be fixed and they need to have pills and they need to, we're just buying the programming. Are you ready to stop buying the programming that's being sold? Are you ready to actually know who you are so that you can be the radiantly healthy soul you are eternally, infinitely? You are the soul right here, right now. But most of you is not in your body right here, right now. When we're being sold all of these false ideas about you have to earn a living. Well, you're already here. You're already living. There's nothing left to earn. You're being told you have to prevent disease. No, you have to create the health that you desire. You're a grand creator being. Health is a creation. It's not something that you achieve. It's something you create. It's something that you be. When you are being who you truly are, you can't be sold a bill of goods. You can't be sold on the idea that there's something wrong with you. You can't be sold on the idea that you're not okay or that you don't have everything you already need. Because everything we need is provided by Source itself. The false matrix programming has us believe that we need a job in order to survive. But we're not here to survive. We're here to thrive. And we're here to live in peace and harmony and joy and ease and health and abundance. These are all what are natural to us. We have been sold by the darkness. We have been sold on disease. We have been sold on war. We have been sold on poverty. We have been sold on life is hard work. We have been sold on the idea that you need to have a job, that you need to pay your taxes. We've been sold all of these things. And we have bought into these. And when we buy into them, they become our reality. But just because they've become our reality doesn't mean we need to keep them. But in order to not keep them, we have to stop participating in these things. We have to raise our consciousness. We have to move our awareness up into a higher dimensional state, a state that is closer to source, closer to the truth, outside of the false matrix programming. We have to get out of our minds because the minds have been shaped for us. We have been taught what to think and when to think and how to think. We have been taught the prison. We have been taught the limited thinking. But when we step beyond the boundaries of the walls of our prison, when we step outside of the mind and back into our soul, we step back into the one mind, the divine mind, the mind of God, the mind of universal intelligence. And when we allow that mind to flow through us, we stop buying the false matrix programming. We stop buying the idea that we're not okay. We stop buying the idea that we have to fit in. We stop buying the idea that we're not okay just as we are. We are each souls created to be completely unique. We are each a unique expression of the oneness of God itself. But we have been taught to become uniform. You gotta be just like everybody else. Follow the rules, do what you're told. And following the rules and doing what we're told doesn't usually feel very good. But we do it for fear of being punished. So we live our entire lives trying to avoid getting punished, trying to avoid disease, trying to avoid being fined, trying to avoid conflict. But what we try to avoid is the thing that we are actually focused on. And what we focus on, we create. So if we want to avoid conflict, we have to stop focusing on conflict and avoidance, and we have to start creating peace and love. We have to stop pushing against others. We have to stop trying to make other people fit into the paradigm that we think they need to be. We have to start allowing ourselves to simply be who we truly are. When we allow ourselves to be who we are, and we start knowing ourselves as the grand beings of light we are, we start to feel better. We start to attract better quality experiences. We start creating better quality experiences, experiences that are in alignment with who we are as grand beings of light. Life starts to get lighter. It starts to get more joyful. It starts to get more ease-filled and free. And all of those rules and regulations start falling away. because we realize that they have nothing to do with who we are. And we realize that we're under no obligation to follow rules that make no sense. And we start realizing that we can simply be radiant and healthy when we're not trying to avoid disease. Disease isn't a thing, it's an illusion. What our bodies are doing is not evidence of disease. They're actually evidence of our bodies are functioning exactly the way they're designed to function. We have to rethink disease. We have to stop buying the story of disease because it's literally killing us and there's no need for it. Our bodies are self-healing organisms. Our bodies are filled with divine intelligence. Our bodies can be our teacher. Our bodies can show us what they need in order to heal. But we have to be willing to listen to them. We have to be willing to trust our bodies and respect our bodies. And we have to stop buying the story that these bodies are just meat suits and that our bodies are malfunctioning and being attacked by diseases, because it's not true. But even though it's not true, it can still be our experience. I am living proof of this because I had the experience of being attacked by cancer, and it was a really horrible experience. But as soon as I was able to change my perspective, as soon as I was able to move my attention point up into a higher version of myself, a wiser version of myself, a part of myself that could see a bigger picture beyond the programming, I was able to see that there was nothing wrong with my body. I was able to see my body's intelligence and that all of the lumps and the bumps and all of the painful things that were happening in my body were my body responding. My body was doing those things on purpose with intelligence. But because we've not been taught that our bodies are intelligent, we overlook our body's intelligence and we look to somebody else's quote unquote intelligence. We're taught that the experts are the ones who have intelligence and they're far more intelligent than we are and they know what to do. But guess what? You are the only one who knows your own body, period. And if you are not able to connect with your body, listen to your body, trust your body, and guide your body back into health, then you are a victim. But you're not a victim ever. You are a creator. It's who and what you are. But in order for that to happen, you have to stop buying the programming. You have to stop buying the ideas that are being sold. What do you mean that ideas are being sold? Well, look at the industries on this planet. Look at what's being sold on this planet. And look at the state of this planet. And if you just simply take a few steps back, you can easily see what's being sold. And you can easily see that what's being sold is really not helping the planet The bees are dying, the birds are dying, the trees are dying, the crops are dying, people are dying, right? It doesn't have to be this way. But we have to start looking at who is selling what and what are we buying. As grand beings of light, we are creators. We can create far better for ourselves. But we have to stop buying the programming first. I hope this was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to know more about some of these things, check out my book, The Simplicity of Self-Healing. Help you shift your perspective on what healing really is and what it takes to heal, what it takes to get rid of these ideas of disease and start actually embracing the health that is natural to all of us. Thanks so much. Until next time, create something beautiful because you can. Bye for now.